Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Natalie Pilling. Natalie Pilling is the CEO of El Passion, a Poland-based software development and design agency. She's also the co-founder of Dare IT, a mentorship program and community for Polish entering the tech industry. Natalie is a non-technical tech enthusiast. She studied management and business at Warwick Business School in the UK and HEC in Paris, France, and started her career in the traditional sectors of the economy as a consultant to German industrial companies at Simon Kucher and Siemens Energy. Well, good afternoon, Natalie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Brian. Thanks a lot. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Love your story. We were just talking here briefly before we got started, Natalie, and you're kind of a transplant to where you are in Poland, but that's amazing. Your background, Italian and German. Love to hear more about your story, but let's jump into some of the questions. You have quite a career in consulting technology, and now you're the CEO of your organization. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth?
Yes, of course. I would say that there's two main ingredients or two main things that brought me where I am today. And the first one is that I'd say I wasn't afraid to take a step up and to try something new when I knew that I wasn't 100% ready or even 80% ready. And I just took that leap of faith and tried that step up. That could have been a new industry. It could have been a new role, a new country even. And maybe here I should correct myself. I shouldn't say that I wasn't afraid. I was definitely afraid, but of course, I just decided to overcome that fear and to take that step. So as I said, I started my career in a much more traditional part of the economy, consulting industrial companies in Germany. And then I decided to go to work for early stage startups in Berlin. The first company I worked with was 4 weeks old. So that was really a completely different world. And it was really scary because it was a different path compared to my peers. And I just decided to go for it. Same thing when I actually moved to El Passion and I moved to a C-level role, and actually quite soon I moved to the CEO role. I was definitely not feeling ready for it, but I just thought, I will try it. So that's the first thing. And the second thing I would say is I was building my network, and that was really something very useful because most of the opportunities I got was based on my network. They were in public knowledge. So just because I was interacting with different people and I was finding out what they were doing and what they were maybe looking for, who they were looking for, and that allowed me to find these next steps in my career. So that's definitely the second aspect of what got me where I am now.
Thank you for sharing, Natalie. I really appreciate that. So as you know, everybody globally has to make major shifts to adapt to the new normal during the pandemic. Could you share with us what you're doing to adjust and stay relevant in the economy?
Yes, of course. That's a very interesting question. Of course, very relevant to all of us. So I would say that we're facing two main challenges that we're trying to address, or we're currently addressing at El Passion, the company that I'm running. The first one is definitely internal. So we are used to working remotely with our clients. We have clients from all over the world across different time zones, but we weren't used to work remotely with each other. So one of the challenges has been to keep the bond, to keep the culture, and keep the identity between us as a company. On top of that, we were faced with a couple of layoffs in the beginning of the year. So that's on top of that, this kind of feeling of distance that didn't help. So this is one of the challenges we're facing, and we're trying to address through heavy use of our Slack channels. Actually, I think we created about 10 or 15 channels since we joined, from a virtual kitchen where everyone checks in the morning and can have like a little coffee chat, to we are experimenting with different types of online integration. So from online beer, let's call it. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, to be honest. Sometimes with bigger groups, it was quite tough. With smaller groups, it worked. And next week, we have online escape game scheduled. So this will be a way to interact with each other online. I'm quite curious how this is going to go. I'm quite excited. But yeah, so this is definitely one of the challenges that we've been trying to solve through the online channels that we have. And maybe one point from my side here is that I've been trying to focus on the human side of us and of as a company, but also of me. I've been making a lot of announcements of changes, and think it can be quite, it can create quite a distance and a top-down communication, especially if it all happens through video. So me and our management team, we've been working on showing our colleagues that we're still human and we are connected to them by engaging in informal conversations, sharing things from our personal life, etc. So that's about our internal challenge and how we're dealing with that. And externally, let's say, with regards to our clients and business, definitely we see that the projects that we're getting are smaller in size, and our clients are more risk averse. So while previously maybe we would have been contacted or we would have been discussing one project at size X, now we would be discussing first a project at size X, half an X or 1/3, and then the next project and following. And it's basically, it means that we've had to adjust the way that we are proposing and selling our work. So we've had to go even deeper into this iterative approach of working, which is quite normal in software, and we are working in Agile in general. So it's not a far concept to how we work, but we've had to really go deeper in that. So that's the first thing that I've noticed. And we've also had to, or we are trying to stay more flexible also by working, for instance, with partners. So instead of hiring new developers or designers, we have been building a partner network so that we can basically exchange our resources with each other and serve those customers that may be coming or not coming, actually. Yeah, so I would say those are the main ways that we're trying to address what's happening.
Great. Thank you, Natalie. Natalie, are you experimenting with any new technologies in your company you care to share?
Yes, so actually a prime way to experiment with new technologies, apart from when specific clients come and ask for specific technologies, is through what we call our hackathons. So we run them 3 to 4 times per year, and it's a 1, sometimes 2-day event where everyone gets the chance to experiment with new technologies, processes, tools that they have read about, heard about, they've come across, and that they would like to try, let's say, in a safe environment where it wouldn't harm our clients. And one of the examples I like very much from this is that a few years back we were experimenting with Kotlin, the programming language, on one or multiple hackathons, and we liked it so much that we decided to make this our core technology, and we were actually one of the first companies in Poland to do that. So through these hackathons we are definitely able to try new things and see for ourselves whether we want to make them part of our standard way of doing things.
Amazing. That's a great way to get in there and learn more about, what your team's capable of and other folks. And it leads to new and emerging tech. So I appreciate you sharing that. That's exciting. So
it's also very fun, I have to say. So
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of competitive too. So that's
exactly.
Really, yep. Natalie, so here's the big question. Everybody wants to know more about you. So can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in tech or entrepreneurship?
Sure. So since I've been talking about or answering other questions with 2 aspects, I will stick to this format for this question as well. So I would say, first of all, stay curious and be open for change. And second of all, don't be afraid to make your own decisions. And what I mean by that is that the tech industry is changing at an astronomical speed. And to stay relevant, you need to learn, you need to be out there, you need to be curious, you need to want to talk to people, to read, to learn from others, to be able to stay up to date and to up to speed with what's happening, and to be able to move your career forward. And one important point here, which is I think related also to my second point about not being afraid to make your own decisions, is also that part of being curious and being open for change is also not being afraid to ask, because as I said, things change so quickly, so there's very few people that know the right answer, or even right or wrong answer. So there is a lot of expertise out there, and there's a lot of people who've done things that you maybe haven't done, but things are changing so fast that many people often don't have the answer. So either you ask and have to come up with an answer together with others. I also would say not to be afraid of your own gut feeling, to just try it and just do it, because as I said, there's not a lot of people who know the right answer, so you might as well just try it by yourself.
I think that's really inspiring, and I think that'll help a lot of people that are looking to grow into a role like you have in your career. So I appreciate you sharing that. And Natalie, I just want to personally thank you. It was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you, Brian. It was a pleasure to be here, and I hope to be talking soon again.
Absolutely. Bye for now.